Hello, we are live. I'm fiddling with a new screen here, so I'm trying to make sure I fit in the tab. Okay, I'm gonna tilt it down a little bit. Let me get this. Usually I use my phone, but my head's gonna be cut off. Okay, I gotta hit one more thing here. Okay, we are live. I gotta get my elf costume on. I do have this linked. This is one of my favorite Christmas aprons. It's the elf. Not that you probably need it much for this recipe. Okay, today we're gonna make Nutter Butter Santas. So this is a really fun recipe for kids, definitely kids and adults. And it's super fun and super cute. It's no bake, so you can just do these without, just need a microwave for melting the white chocolate. So what you need is you need the Nutter Butter cookies. You need vanilla almond bark. You need semi-sweet chocolate chips. You need white chocolate chips for the pom-pom hat. And you need the red sprinkles. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the red sprinkles in a container here so I can dip Santa's hat in there. I'm probably only going to make about 10 of these. So the beauty of this is you can just make as many as you need. I'm almost out of red. So you want the red sprinkles for this. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get a bowl because we need to melt the almond bark. So I'm going to grab that. Actually, I'm going to melt the almond bark in this small Pyrex because I'm making about 10 of these. So for those of you just joining us, we are making the Santa Nutter Butter cookies. So I picked up a family-sized pack of the Nutter Butters. And I'm taking the vanilla almond bark. I'm going to use 2 of them. I'm making probably about 10 of these. I'm going to put them in here, and then we need to melt this in the microwave for 30 seconds at a time. So I'll be right back. Okay, and then you also need the red sprinkles for the top of the hat. So that was the end of the red ones that I had. And you need white chocolate chips and semi-sweet or milk chocolate chips for the decoration. Oh yeah, and you need Red Hots, but I couldn't find Red Hots, so I'm going to use M&Ms, which I'm going to go grab those. Before my husband eats all of the M&Ms, we'll use those. So I'll use the red M&Ms. So because I probably wouldn't use Red Hots in very many more recipes. So in order to just modify a little bit, I'll just put the M that's printed upside down on the cookie. Okay, so I'm going to check and it's not melted. So we're going to do 30 more seconds. Okay, I'm doing 30 more seconds on the almond bark. And then if you haven't checked out my website, cabincook.com, you really should, because I have all of my holiday recipes are already posted on there. And then I'm posting them on YouTube, probably 2 a day until Christmas time. So I think there's 68 recipes on there. So that's cabincook.com while I'm waiting for the almond bark to melt. So those of you that are just joining, we're making the Santa Nutter Butter cookies. And kids, this is awesome too. Oh, and I have my creepy Mrs. Claus doll back here. So I'm not a creepy doll person, but I found her at a thrift shop, and she, my series is called Mrs. Claus Holiday Baking Series, and she's perfect. But her glasses were broken, so she kind of looks a little scary. Okay, it's starting to melt. So we're going to do 30 more seconds. Set that there. Okay, and then we're going to kind of put the almond bark off to the side. And then we'll open up the Nutter Butters. These Nutter Butter cookies are not inexpensive. They were like $5.50 at Walmart for this one package. I don't know if you can get them at Aldi's or not, because in order to get the Santa shape, you really need this particular sandwich cookie. Oh, having trouble getting them out. Okay, because you know they're like this. So this is the Nutter Butters, like that. Okay, I'm gonna go grab my almond bar. Okay, so we just wanna, it took about 1.5 minutes for that to get completely melted like that. Okay, so I'm gonna demonstrate with 5 of them. So I'm gonna I got some white chocolate chips and some semi-sweet milk chocolate morsels. Okay, so I just kind of got everything ready. And then, like I said, instead of Red Hots, I'm using M&Ms. All right, and you want a wire rack because it will drip a little bit on there. Okay, so a lot of you say I'm unorganized, and yes, I am. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take it and you're going to dip in just enough to make like a hat on Santa, like that. Okay, so just enough because you're going to want to make the Santa hat. Okay, and then we're going to set that off to the side. So we're going to do 5 of, we'll do 5 of them. These are just so simple for a cookie tray. Oh my gosh. This is just the first part of it. Okay, I'm going to do probably 5 for demonstration purposes. This won't be really long. Okay, so I'm just getting, okay, so I'm just getting enough to make the top of the, I'm going to do 6. These are really nice because you can just make as many as you need. Oop, I have a couple of comments. Oh, my elf apron. Yep. The elf apron is from Amazon. So I could link that for you if you really wanted. Okay, so now we're going to take these and then you can either dip them or use your hands and just lightly make the Santa hat. So I'll show you the difference on if I use my hands versus dipping it in. So I'm actually going to dip it. So if it goes like that, and then you just dip the front of it in like that. And if you have other colors, you can make other colors because I'm about out of red. So I'm going to probably add a little bit of green to this one. I'm going to add a little green. My hand. Make them a little different. Okay. All right. And then so you don't want that one to melt. And so you're going to take this as the white chocolate chips. I'm sorry about that. I have my Invisalign in, so I feel like I'm talking funny. So you want to take your cookie, and before it hardens, you want to offset that for the hat. Like that. So, up a little bit and offset. Okay, so that's the hat on all of them. I know it's hard to see, but I'm just putting the sticking the hat on all of them. Okay. All right, and then we're going to take our cookie bark back. Okay, so this is what it looks like so far. And then we're going to dip in the second side of it for the bottom, a little bit deeper. So it kind of looks like that. Just tap it off the side and that extra will come off. And then we're going to quickly add the nose and get that nice and smooth there. The nose and the eyes. If you have kids, they will absolutely love this. Definitely. Okay, I've got 2 more. My dogs are behind me kind of whining. I don't know if you can hear them. We're in northern Minnesota, so it's cold out already. And it's dark it was dark at 5 o'clock, 10 to 5. And so it's hard to get them exercised. Okay, so now we've got the bottoms done. I'm just going to rinse my hands. These are no bake. They're just kind of putsy. All right, and now we're going to take the 2 eyes, so the 2 chocolate chips, and we're just going to stick them on right on the snowman. Oh my gosh, it's hard to talk and do this at the same time. Need my chocolate ones over there. They're blending into the counter. Okay, so we'll add those. Still got people with me. Like I said, they're just a little putsy, and then I'll hold one up in a second here. Okay, and instead of the Red Hots, so you can use Red Hots, it'll be a little bit different. I'm going to use red M&Ms. Like I said, just because I don't want to spend money on Red Hots that I'll probably never use for anything else. Okay, so you just put those kind of in the middle. All right, and then we're done. So now we just let them cool on the tray right here. That's going to drip. Some of that's going to drip through, but it'll harden. So we're just going to let it sit here on the tray. And you are going to end up with the cutest little Santa Nutter Butter cookies. Aren't they cute? Oops, I'm on a different camera than I normally am. Aren't they adorable? So you can use the mini chocolate chips if you want instead of the big ones. And they're so good. They've got the crisp Nutter Butter cookie along with the almond bark. You can't get any better. So, okay. Well, I hope you learned something today. I've got, I think, what do I have posting tonight? I have another cookie recipe posting in probably about an hour on YouTube that'll be coming out. You can check cabincook.com. I've got all of my holiday recipes already posted all the way through December, but you can get them ahead of time on cabincook.com. I'm posting two videos a day from now until probably the 10th of Christmas, until the 10th of December. My birthday is on December 11th, so I try to be done by December 11th because then I need to focus on my own Christmas besides cooking for everybody else and doing some catering work. So I hope you enjoyed these cookies. Like I said, they're not absolutely beautiful, these that I'm doing on the live stream for my pictures. So I'll do those probably on another batch to get those all photographed. So I hope you enjoyed this. For those of you that are just joining, that's what they look like when they're done. So, all right. Well, that was all for my live today. So I hope you enjoyed it. And if you want to comment on the video that I get posted later on Facebook. All right, you guys have a really good night, and I got to head out to the treadmill.